On the side, man. It's very scary claws.
Those are some claws, man.
Very beautiful claws.
Yep.
It's difficult to get scratched by the claws of Naisu.
Yeah.
Claws too, dude.
And Paquito is back for ONIC Philippines. Is this the recipe that we're looking for?
So we're still not sure. Is this a Joy jungle or a Paquito jungle?
Oh, it can be swapped, yeah.
They can be swapped depending on the situation. But knowing now that the R-Lot is going to be the matchup to go here for the XP lane, you would prefer one or the other. But this time, the Melissa is still not banned.
Oh, yeah.
Ammon could potentially use it.
Anti-Mel.
Or instead just go for the Brody because it can support the Franco right away. There are two choices that could be made here by the side of RSG. Which one are they going to go for?
I like the Melissa because it has go away.
There you go.
So that's going to slow down the Paquito. It's going to slow down the Kufra as well.
Yep.
So that's pretty good.
Man, this is a big question right now for the Yellow Hedgehogs to force a game number 4 because they're hanging on a thread here. They're really on the cliff to go and cross their lives for the playoffs.
Can you imagine the draft that RSG just did here? They banned out the Grok, they banned out the Akai, they even took the Fredren from Sensui.
And as our Cebol team is happening right now in Cambodia, our hashtag is Taon ng Tagumpay or Year of Triumph. So continue to support our Cebol men and women MLBB delegates in the upcoming 32nd SEA Games happening from May 11th to 14th in Phnom Penh, Cambodia.
Woo!
Wherever you are right now in the Philippines, continue to support our team representing the MLBB division, men and women, raising our flag in Cambodia.
Go for gold and just keep the win streak in our favor. MLBB Philippines has been such a strong force in the world right now, and I think we can keep that up.
The ML is MLing, if I should say.
Right.
Yes.
This is Lakas ng Pinas, the strength of the Philippines, the home of champions. Now,
we even have a song for that.
Yes. Go ahead and stream it on YouTube. Because now, it's RSG's momentum up against ONIC Philippines. How's the start right now for the Yellow Hedgehogs?
I mean, Ammon is already there assisting everybody else, so... I mean, Light is assisting Ammon because you're going to start to see Ammon's damage in the later portions of the game. But if it arrives early, this is going to be a heavy team fight composition kind of RSG that we're about to see. But Light, though...
Oh, Light actually is taking up a lot of damage. But the funny thing here is Irad's a little slower compared to Sensui this time around.
Yeah, more
right?
of the fundamental, more on the side of being in a Fredrin, from being an assassin to a Fredrin right now in game number 3.
Oh, look at that.
I say Sensui and Kekad is really having a good start on getting the visions in part of how they lost game 1 on retrieving the information for RSG.
And I'm starting... It's starting to make sense on why they picked up the Paquito instead of any other hero, because the Paquito could knock up the Abraser's Wrath that could be brought about by the Fredrin. So in case the objectives are going to be secured by Irad, there is a way for them to stop it with that double retribution because of that Abraser's Wrath. So there are some ways for ONIC to make it, not only with the jungle position, but now they're going to fight.
Yeah, they're fighting up in the bottom side of the map where Ryota does not have that level 4 yet, which means he's not ready to fight yet.
Oof.
And RSG, they took advantage.
Oh, and also a clear path for the first objective for the Raiders to take. But meanwhile, Kekadut and Sensui still holding the area. Light as well holding Kekadut on the ground. Nats, look at that.
RSG, you're very happy to take this fight straight into the faces of the Sonics. Irad takes the Lord, or the Turtle rather, and this time around, Nats is the one who is dealing the damage almost all on his own.
Patience
is a virtue, and all on his own. Nats starting with this one, 2-0-1 plus the first objective of the game.
And this is what I was mentioning in game number 2, right? We usually see Nats building on that one.
Yep, Nats is just insane right now, but at the same time, look at Light. He's also making a mark. He's forcing some flickers out of the members of ONIC, and I think Irad also takes it.
Stolen!
Takes that purple buff.
They're not even giving ONIC PH any sort of break at this point. They took the turtle from them. got 3 lives after that one, and even took Sensui's purple buff. One that would be helpful in that Paquito scaling up. So this time, ONIC really needs to make some moves because they're starting to have problems, even in the smallest of things, trying to secure their objectives, trying to get away from those kinds of initiations that RSG is about to force them.
And non-stop action right now coming in from RSG. They know they're ahead, and they're maximizing their advantage. Like you said, OSX, they seem to know the limits of the heroes of ONIC right now, and they're getting boxed in.
Yeah, Rockhart, Sona, that's the name of the game. Forced. RSG is forcing ONIC Philippines right now, early game, to not have resources, answer to every team fights, and even the pickoffs, which they are strong against. And it's just the other way around. With Kakadut being back in the Kufra, he needs more aggressive. He needs more vision for his team. And with all of the pressure right now, with Nets being the damage deal of this team, he needs to not be distracted by this point. Because look at that, Nats and Rio just really having the time on the EXP lane. Oh, Irad, on the other hand, is not letting go of this.
Yep, it's going to be Irad. It's a 1v3, but somehow he is still surviving. And even taking a kill with a fadeaway. Appraiser's Wrath.
And that is a Grand Theft Orange by Irad. No objectives again for Sensui, Sona.
He said, I'm gonna take the purple or orange and get out of here!
But on the top side, it's ONIC who are taking the fight. But looks like they might have a hard time to clean this up without Sensui. And there it is, that Paquito making its mark finally. But on the other side of the map, it is Irad taking that turtle.
The life of Light to the life of Eman, still not being distracted from the items. Corrosion side is in, Sona.
That is a major piece of the puzzle here for the side of RSG, although props still to the side of ONIC because they've managed to secure a Demon Hunter sword for Nets. They're taking care of Nets pretty well, and also through the help of the Avarice as his emblem, he gets some extra gold heading forward, which is why it's a little bit of a match here in terms of the gold position. Meanwhile, things are starting to become a little bit different for the other sides because now it's Kakadut that's feeling the little bit of a pressure.
Oh no!
That's Kakadut. There's no one available to help him out, and that is a 1 for none. RSG, they're just going away with anything they want to do on the map.
Hey man, I'm feeling bad right now for Kakadut. The second death of this Kufra. Nets!
Nets!
Ooh, he still lives.
Close.
Go back to the base, Nets. But now RSG has eyes on Kakadut. How do you manage to hold the line without having defense items? Sensui.
I mean, he's going to have to try his very best, but that is 3 members of RSG
no.
on the chase with an iron hook straight to the face. And that might be Sensui going down. Eman joining the fray as well. Super Friends, there's not really much he can do to slow down RSG.
Oh
man.
This is not looking good.
Bro, RSG in acronym is technically ready, set, go. They're just ready to go for the fight at this point. They're not chilling. They're ready because they know that they have the item advantage. They're setting, and now they're going for it once again. And Eman's taking a lot of damage.
Eman, 1 go away, just negated, canceled out that Tyrant's Rage.
But still, they got the turret.
And they also got the turret.
Man.
Well, that's a good way to point out RSG. Ready, set, go. That's a 10 out of 10, Sona.
Thank you.
RSG. You just open up my eyes for that one.
This is how they play! What?
Yeah, and speaking of play, they are going non-stop right now, but looks like ONIC will get a better footing. At least Nets is still alive. Exhort does not go down, though. And I think the turtle still went over to RSG.
Oh, the problem is here.
Kakadut. No.
Ooh. No one can really touch this Melissa right now, and I don't think there's anything that ONIC can do unless they can make a very good engage.
Man.
Sensui is at the back. Oh, he can go for it.
At the back
away! The go away slows down the melee hitters of ONIC. Again, the Melissa is just a game changer for RSG. No one can take her down.
The snowball of the Raiders are forcing ONIC to kneel down to the damage. And Sensui was the one to even be the front line, and he had 3 deaths. He didn't have the first item needed for a Kuf to be in the front line for his team.
It was a sandwich method that RSG SLATE Philippines executed during that fight. They knew that they have the durability on the backside, so all-out damage is going to be there. Although, a consolation prize coming in from ONIC Philippines, an overextension brought about by Light to give out and dish out information is going to be handy because the kill apparently went to Ryota, which is really going to be important. But taking a look at the gold earnings for, four members of RSG together with that 4.3k gold lead, only Nets being the lone Sonic that is right over there just trying to dish out damage, and he is again the very first one. So there is some silver lining, a glimmer of hope for ONIC Philippines that maybe if they get to keep their ground all together, they could still manage to form a team fight that could very well work to their advantage.
In fairness to ONIC, they know the assignment, right? Try to kill Eman. But the problem is they can't really do it.
Yeah.
Even though Nets is really good in positioning this game.
Yeah, and they all need to work together in order to make this work because right now the investment is with Nets. The damage dealer of ONIC is with Nets.
Yep.
With all of the 3 members having 3 deaths, how do you even to see the way of, or to fathom to be in a defense mode? Because RSG is not stopping for every avenue. Look at that, the position of Nats on the other side of the death bush.
Speaking of which,
They want to go right now. Kekedot, he can't even activate his set. He is getting whittled down so hard by RSG right now. And right now, RSG have full control of the Lord area.
that is not the best way to go in that kind of fight because, again, during that specific team fight, Nets, their main damage dealer, one of the biggest contributors towards ONIC Philippines' damage, was away from the fight. He was on the top side. Fortunately for them, they still managed to get the top lane outer turret. But again, in exchange for the Lord, that is really not the best exchange. That is really not the best kind of scenario if you're ONIC Philippines. And now, RSG is maximizing their stay. They're, overstaying their welcome at this point because they've now managed to take another orange objective, and ONIC has nothing to do about it.
Did he catch one? Right down bottom, did Kekedot catch
He's
one?
the one caught!
He's the one who gets caught in his own trap. What is happening here? It's topsy-turvy day for ONIC.
Oh,
No!
It's just one after another.
The humanity! Oh! RSG is just not slowing down, guys. They
And
want that win.
they want to live another day in the play-ins to the playoffs stage. They have a title to defend, and this is their first mission to accomplish. How is ONIC Philippines going back from this?
I mean, if you're ONIC Philippines, you still have the electrifying beats. You still have the real-world manipulation. So there's still some sort of poke damage and wave clear. So that is something that ONIC Philippines could maximize on. But again, the RSG gold gap is just a little too much. Irad still unscathed in this matchup. He also secured that dominance eye, so it's going to be a little bit harder for him to go down as ONIC Philippines. This is another glass cannon type of setup that we're actually seeing. I mean, not even that, because even though they have 3 main damage dealers, those are 3 squishy heroes altogether, so there are no other pillars for them but to stay, or there's no other choice for them but to stay in the midst of the fight. Fortunately for Sensui, he has managed to take that orange objective.
There's no sponge, there's no soaker for the defense of ONIC Philippines because right now they are really reliant for the Tyrant's Rage and Tyrant's Revenge of Kekedot to work. He just had his Dominance Ice to counter the damage of RSG SLATE Philippines. But right now he could actually need an Immortality to make things work. Because if comeback is concerned, they need to divide RSG most of the time. And this is how they could see a winning condition. And this is a freeze lane. And they're forcing ONIC Philippines to come out of the dark.
Right now, the map just belongs to RSG, and you need a gate pass every time you gotta go around the bush area. There's just no way ONIC will be able to sneak one up on RSG unless someone slips up.
There's only one turret taken from RSG, and that's the top lane where Emon was sitting on, and now it's all still on full defense.
It's very understandable why ONIC Philippines are trying to make moves because it's something that they need to do. And that is exactly it.
Is
They're
this
takedown.
Here's the engage. Finally, can they take a kill? But Ira's really lasting a long time. He's not able to put down the Appraiser's Wrap, which means he will go down. That's one for ONIC. Well, looks like Nats is going to be going on a 1v4 killing spree right now with Light and Emanating Sword on the back. And somehow, Nats is still alive!
He's the leaning tower of broomsticks. The Arlot is still alive. 5v1. Nats doesn't care. This is why he's called Nats Entertainment. He entertained 5 heroes. He overstayed his welcome, and he still didn't get picked off. Instead, he was the one who paved the way for his other teammates to just unleash the bloody hunt and stun them out of the ground.
He just said, eyes on me, ONIC Philippines. This is how they divide the yellow hedgehogs. No. A close iron hook. And this is RSG SLATE Philippines taking another free lord.
And this is why the Arlot is just so good, right? The Arlot is so good. It enables players like Nats to really go insane if given the opportunity. And so far in this game, he's had all the chances to make those highlight plays on the Arlot.
I mean, this is the reason why you have the Tenacity Arlot as one of the best heroes in the current game that we have. Tanky, can set up plays, low cooldown, also built up with defensive items together with that extra damage coming in from that Thunderbelt is something that is super handy. RSG almost 9k in gold lead, all 3 waves intact. The Lord on the top side. If there is one way for ONIC defend, the time is now. Try to get a pick off as much as you can before it all falls down.
They need to defy the impossible. They need to look at the possibility to change time if they want to live another day in the playoffs. RSG SLATE Philippines. I saw 3 Radiant Armors. Oh, the final slash!
The huge final slash coming in from Nats. And that is going to take out 2 inhibitor turrets with more coming in from the back. Emma's just unstoppable on the Melissa as well. Nets rather, tried to clear up the minions, but looks like it won't be needed. RSG with a free 0 sweep against ONIC Philippines.
The reigning and defending Kings of Sea. The Raiders are gonna live another day. They struggled throughout the regular season.